Hey great people, Kanae Payne here. Welcome back to my challenge. Now today what I would like to talk to you great people about is using faith to heal yourself or a loved one. And my reason for sharing this with you guys because as you may know, if you follow me, I am reading the book The Power of Positive Thinking and came across that chapter and it was saying how to use faith in your healing, and I don't share anything that I have not myself been through. So I have been through something similar to this. So I decided to cut the camera on and share with you guys. So, how to heal yourself with faith. Been following me for a while. By now, you should know that I have a now 2-year-old son who is suffering from a condition, skin condition called eczema. That's what the doctors are calling it at this point. But when he was first born, they wasn't quite sure what was wrong with him. After turning 3 weeks old, my son's life just did a 360. His health just went south. Every month or every other week, myself or my husband and myself or myself and my mother-in-law was at doctor's appointments, tests after tests after appointment after test, trying to figure out what was wrong with my son. When he was 6 months old, he went to an appointment because his blood was real thin and they said I believe his white blood cells or count was, I believe it was low or very high. Either way, it indicated something was going on inside his body. So they ran another test, and before I could make it home from that appointment, I will never forget that day. I stopped by Walmart, and that doctor called me and stated that my 6 month old at that time might have leukemia. So, of course, as a mother, I in Walmart in front of everybody just broke down crying and called my mother and my husband, because I've never experienced something like this before, so I really didn't know how to handle it. And, as a mother, you don't want to hear nothing like that about your child. So, yeah, the doctor called and said that, he might have leukemia, so to set up another appointment to go see an oncologist. And I'll never forget going to that appointment and seeing those kids in there, other kids who had cancer, and how they didn't want to go back to the back to get their chemo, and they just looked tired. And I remember me and my husband, as we sat there, we kept affirming, we kept praying that our son does not have leukemia. Our son is not about to go through this bone marrow test that we are here for. We kept affirming that. We kept declaring that he does not have cancer. He's not going to have cancer. I don't care what the blood results were showing the doctor. So as we got back into the office, the doctor took one look at him and she asked him a couple of questions about how his daily activity goes and his health. And she looked at our baby and she said, I don't believe this boy has cancer. I don't believe he has leukemia. I'm not going to put him through the pain of doing a bone marrow test. And that was the best news I could have ever heard. My son still, after that incident, and was still going through more tests and allergy tests and, things like that. We found out some more problems that was going on to help with the eczema. But long story short, he's 2 years old now. He does not have cancer, no leukemia, blood cells are normal. He's doing great, doing much better thanks to our faith in God. And that's what I want to share with you guys. You might have a loved one out there that may be sick. You may be sick. And I'm going to read with you 8 steps into using faith for your healing. So bear with me. Let me get the book. The first step in the prevention of sickness and in healing mind and body, do not fail to draw upon one of the greatest resources available to you, the faith that heals. In the light of the principles outlined in this chapter, what you can do for a constructive nature when a loved one or you are ill. Follow these 8 practical suggestions. Number 1, follow the advice of a prominent medical school head who said, in sickness, send for your minister, even as you send for your doctor. In other words, believe that spiritual forces as well as medical technique are important in healing. Number 2, pray for the doctor. Realize that God uses trained human instrumentally to aid his healing powers. As one doctor has put it, we treat the patient and God heals him. Pray, therefore, that the doctor may be an open channel of God's healing grace. Number 3, whatever you do, do not become panicky or filled with fear. For if you do, you will send out negative thoughts and therefore destructive thoughts in the direction of your loved one or yourself when he requires positive and healing thoughts to assist him. Number 4, remember that God does nothing except by law. Also remember that our little materialistic laws are only fragmentary revelations of the great power flowing through the universe. Spiritual law also governs illness. God has arranged 2 remedies for all illness. One is healing through natural laws applicable by science, and the other brings healing by spiritual law applicable through faith. Number 5, completely surrender your loved one or yourself into the hands of God. By your faith, you can place him in the flow of divine power. There is healing there, but in order for it to be effective, the patient must be completely released to the operation of God's will. This is difficult to understand and equally difficult to perform, but it is a fact that if the great desire for the loved one to live is matched with an equally great willingness to relinquish him to God, healing powers are amazingly set in motion. Number 6, it is also important that harmony prevail in the family, that is, a spiritual harmony. Remember the emphasis in the scripture, Matthew 18 and 19. If 2 of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father, which is in heaven. Apparently, disharmony and disease are akin. Number 7, form a picture in your mind of the loved one or yourself as being well. Visualize him in perfect health. Picture him as radiant with the love and goodness of God. The conscious mind may suggest sickness, even death, but 9/10 of your mind is in the subconscious. Let the picture of health sink into the subconscious, and this powerful part of your mind will send forth radiant health energy. What we believe in the subconscious, we usually get. Unless your faith controls the subconscious, you will never get any good thing, for the subconscious gives back only that which your real thoughts is. If the real thought is negative, the results will also be negative. If the real thought is positive, you will get positive and healing results. Number 8, be perfectly natural. Ask God to heal you or your loved one. That is what you want with all your heart. So ask him, please, to do it. But we suggest that you say please just once. Thereafter, in your prayer, thank him for his goodness. This affirmative faith will help to release deep spiritual power and also joy through reassurance of God's loving care. This joy will sustain you, and remember that joy itself possesses healing power. I myself am a witness that faith can heal you and your loved one because it healed my, at that time, 6-month-old son. As I said before, he is cancer free. No more signs of leukemia, blood cells, blood counts is normal. He's doing much better. We still have a little issue going on, but I can't even complain about that issue because what he has been through the first year of his life is nothing compared to what, it's nothing compared to where he's at now. So you're out there, internet land, and you are getting value from the information I'm sharing with you, simply click on the link below. Connect with me on Facebook. Let's lock arms together. Let me help transform your life just like I transformed my life and my family's life. I look forward to connecting with you, great people. Have a great night. Peace out.